Well, they took my money, this time in the form of a Figaro bag clip, Deadpool and Wolverine edition. Was going through Target and they had a full stack of the blind bag Deadpool and Wolverine bag clips. I wanted to take one and do a blind bag reveal, showcase which one I got. I thought that'd be pretty cool, mainly because I buy a lot of blind bags. You know, these sort of Figaro bag clips, I have a huge collection of them. I don't know what it is. I guess I just figure it's a cool display, and I actually do use them over at work where we use our lockers. I'll always attach one to my locker, and I have a whole bunch of them, and people at work know that. And I always have one for different movie franchises I love, video games, all that. And I'll usually put whatever, sort of new movie or franchise thing is coming up. So it's kind of cool to coincide with whatever's trendy at the time. But I wanted to do a blind bag reveal to showcase which one I got. In this case, you got the Deadpool and Wolverine ones. You see that the entire ones you can get, most of it is sort of the team members that were in Deadpool's resistance team in the Void. You know, X-23, Elektra, Gambit, Blade, of course, Wolverine. And then some members of the actual Deadpool corps, where you got Dogpool, Headpool, and Ladypool. I guess, yeah, Deadpool was technically part of the Deadpool Corps, so he counts. There's also some more additional ones you can see on the back, where it has the ones that you see on the front, and two additional ones. For these blind bags, they always have like a mystery one that's an exclusive. You see these two right here, in case you want to get spoiled of what they are. This one is Cassandra Nova. You can tell based on the bald head. You can't really see it on here, but it's got kind of long fingers, so there's that. And then this one is Johnny Storm, him when he's wearing his kind of cloak robe thing right before he actually flames on. So those are those ones, but you can't really see, it's kind of blurred out in the red. You can't really see the actual details and all that. Those are the possibilities. Now with blind bags, there's always ones I'm rooting for and ones I'm not rooting for. I'll say the ones that I hope it's not. I don't want it to be Wolverine. I already have a Wolverine, this Wolverine that I got previously, and I also have another classic comic book, regular comics, Wolverine in the yellow costume, so I definitely don't need any more of those. And I also don't want it to be Gambit. I already have a Gambit one. I got that on a regular, it was just an X-Men kind of comic blind bag last year, and I was really happy I got it. But because Gambit's look in Deadpool and Wolverine is essentially identical to how he looks in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, that's why it was so cool, that way he looked just like the comics. I definitely don't need a replica of both of them, even though there are a few differences, but I don't need either one of those. Which ones I'm really hoping for? Well, all the other ones would be really cool, even though I already have a Deadpool one, which I'll show off a little bit later. This one is different. The pose is really nice. I think I'm hoping for either X-23 or Ladypool. Those ones would be pretty cool. I'd want to see those. Those would be nice for the collection. But as long as it's not Wolverine, that'd be fine with me. So I'm going to open it up. Now, when I open it up, I am going to close my eyes as I take it out, because I would think it's kind of fun to take it out and see if you can tell who it is just by feeling around. Some of them will be pretty obvious, like if I feel two pointy fins on the top, that's Wolverine, and obviously Gambit's hair, you can tell that. All the other ones though, we'll see. So here I go. Let's focus my camera. There we go. All right. As you can see, it's all sealed up. Probably should have opened it from the bottom, whatever. All right, now this is where I'm closing my eyes. See how I can tell who it is. Okay, so I'm feeling, oh, who is this? Again, my eyes are closed right now. Okay, so bald, so that's definitely not Wolverine. Trying to feel the legs. Where are the legs? Who is this? I'll give myself like 30 seconds, so I'm not like delaying this too much. I'm having a tough time. Who is this? She's got one leg right here. Unless I'm missing something. I'm gonna feel really stupid like once I figure out this thing right here is not a leg. Who is this? Because that's obviously the top. You got the hair. Oh, this is probably Elektra. All right, I'm gonna guess Elektra. That's gonna be my guess based on from what I remember in the picture. Her legs were kind of crossed, so that's probably what that is. So I'm gonna guess Elektra, and we're gonna open my eyes in 3, 2, 1. Yep, Elektra. There you go. Miss Elektra Nachios, who was part of the Resistance team. There you go. All right, well that's not bad. I remember seeing when they showed concept art for Deadpool and Wolverine, they had something kind of cool where she was wearing her kind of comic book accurate kind of like cap thing that she has. She obviously didn't have that in the movie, but it was still cool to see her in there. Jennifer Garner return to the role. She was one of the members of the Resistance where it was not a surprise to see her because they spoiled that. It was in the casting announcement for the movie a year in advance. Everyone else, though, it was a surprise, like Blade and Gambit. But that's kind of cool. Again, I was hoping for Lady Pool or X-23, but as long as it wasn't Wolverine again, it's okay by me. If I can get my camera to focus a little bit better. There we go. So yeah, you got Elektra. Turn it on the back. Yeah, her costume doesn't really resemble in the movie kind of your main Elektra kind of look, besides having the pointy sword things, the size I believe they're called, but whatever, that's nice. To do a comparison, again, I already have the Wolverine one. This is her next to the Deadpool and Wolverine official blind bag Wolverine. I got that previously, so you see size-wise they line up pretty well. Some more comparisons. Here's the Deadpool one that I've got. I've had this for a few years now. I got this at D23. This one isn't based on movie Deadpool. This is just kind of comic book Deadpool, whatever, but you know, obviously it still looks like Deadpool. He's sitting on a throne. You can see that these ones work together pretty well. Actually, size-wise, it works out perfectly. So they scales well with other one of these boys. Here's her next to Gambit. This is the Gambit one I talked about before, but this one is comic book Gambit. It's based on just his look from like, you know, a regular comic book appearance, or if X-Men 97, that kind of look, where it basically looks like how he does in Deadpool and Wolverine. There's a few differences. The hair is a little bit messier and the color of his torso, but you know, basics kind of look for Gambit is still there. But again, scales pretty well. It is a bit shorter though, so that's where that comes in. That's where this isn't part of this official line. So I'm guessing the other Gambit's a bit taller, because if you put it like this, Elektra's taller, but that's fine. And then another one for fun. Here she is next to comic book yellow suit Wolverine. You can see that, you know, yellow suit Wolverine is a short king for a reason. So there's that comparison right there. You can see how this Wolverine is definitely shorter than this one. So that's where this official movie scale comes in. So yeah, not bad. Again, I was hoping for Lady Pool, Dogpool, or X-23, but as long as I didn't get a repeat of this one, that's fine. That's the thing with blind bags. You just gotta hope that you don't get a repeat of what you've had before. Otherwise, you just feel like, man, I just wasted money on one of these when I could have hoped for something better. But as long as I got something different, that's nice. So there's a blind bag reveal, the first one I've done here for one of these blind bag reveals. Again, I've got a pretty big collection of these. I'll showcase those off one day. But it's another instance where they took my money. In this case, they took my money for Deadpool and Wolverine blind bag Elektra. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.